Have you ever thought about a festival so huge, so sacred, that it literally defines an entire culture? We're talking about a celebration where millions of individual stories, these soul threads, get woven together into one single magnificent tapestry. Today, we're diving deep into the Festival of a Million Threads to see exactly how the Araucana people map their very souls. But to really get a feel for this, let's not start with the giant crowds. Let's start with a quiet moment. Just picture this. Glowing lanterns are drifting up into the sky, twin moons are shining over the water, and two people, Pepi and Jaru, are catching their breath after a festival dance. It's right here, in this small moment, that the real heart of the festival shows itself. So Pepi says this, right? And it's such a fascinatingly private thing to say. I mean, they've just taken part in this huge public ritual for the six, whatever that is, but these honors are so personal, they've never actually shared their own with each other. So, what on earth are these six honors that are so public and yet so secret? Okay, let's break this down. Because to get the festival, you first have to get the person. The six honors are basically these six fundamental threads that, when you weave them all together, create what's called a complete soul map of an Arauca person. It's kind of like their spiritual DNA. It all starts with the birth flame, or the Nador Lak-A. Think of this as your core essence, the raw energy you come into the world with. It's your gut instinct, your internal drive. So are you a passionate, fiery flameborn like Jaru? Or maybe more of an intuitive, flowing riverborn like Pepi? This is your ground zero. So from that core energy, you find your role path, your Quivaroran. This is basically the purpose you naturally walk toward. It's something you usually figure out as a teenager, and it's like your spiritual job in the community. For example, Jaru, who needs that sense of control, he's a weaver, a creator. And Pepi, with that inspiring voice of hers, she's a herald. And then you've got the influence from the sky, your birth moon or Dela Rakia. This is like a celestial fingerprint that shapes your whole emotional world, your intuition. Pepi, for instance, she was born under the twin moon, which gives her a really balanced heart. But Jaru? He was born under the super rare shadow eclipse, which explains his more intense, mystical side. Now, this next one is a really cool concept. It's the chant line, the Kivarian. This is this vibrational essence you inherit from your mother's side of the family. It actually defines the resonance of your voice and your spirit. Jaru's got a strong flame chant, and Pepi has a melodic river chant. As Jaru himself jokes, it's no wonder they sound so good even when they're fighting. Of course, you're also shaped by where you come from, right? The fifth honor is your regional lineage, your Korasenya. And this is so much more than just a spot on a map. It's your whole cultural identity. Whether you're from the upper coast or the desert country, it's your accent, your food, the stories you grew up with. And finally, the one that weaves through all the others, the deepest one of all, ancestral honor, or Karaluun. This is the living, breathing connection to every single generation that came before you. It's this profound belief that the threads of those who passed on are still here, guiding you. And you honor them with shrines, with memories, and by carrying your wisdom into the future. So here's the main takeaway. These six threads, they aren't just separate personality traits. They all weave together to form a complete soul map. This map tells the entire story, where you came from, what drives you, how you love, and where you belong in the world. It's the whole picture. All right, so now that we get the individual thread, let's zoom out. What happens when millions of these incredibly detailed soul maps all come together in one place? Well, they come together in a massive week-long celebration of unity, of ancestry, and of rebirth. And this is the Festival of a Million Threads, or Nakyu Yanavuva no Kasorchen, which translates to the weaving of all souls. It is the ultimate expression of their collective identity, where every single person's thread is celebrated as a vital part of something much, much bigger. And you can see here, this festival has a really deep structure. It's a 7-day journey. It kicks off with Flame Day, all about action and courage. Then comes River Day for emotion and healing, Wind Day for intellect, Stone for wisdom, Aether for vision. And it all wraps up with days for growth and reflection. It's literally a complete spiritual journey for the entire culture, all in 1 week. So how do they actually express all of this? Well, it happens through these spectacular rituals that turn a person's private identity into this incredible shared experience. Let's take a look at some of the most important ones. The whole festival opens with this unbelievable performance, the weaving of the 48 flames. You've got 48 dancers, and each one represents a point on the sacred Arekina clock. They weave in and out with these flame-colored ribbons, and it creates this stunning visual metaphor for time, for destiny, and for the choices we make. All week long, you hear this one powerful chant just echoing everywhere. It's Nahalara, Nahia, Nanagiyara. In flame we rise, in river we return, in wind we grow. This is like the unifying creed of the whole festival, a constant reminder of the core elements that tie them all together. You know, one of the most profound rituals is the twin moon reflection. When the two moons rise high in the sky, everyone, and I mean everyone, falls completely silent for exactly 48 seconds. And in that quiet, you're supposed to look inside yourself, at the person you were, the person you are now, and the person you hope to become. It's this massive, collective moment of personal reflection. And there are just so many other amazing rituals going on. People tie colored threads onto huge ancestral trees. You got the famous courtship dance where couples move together, connected by a single ribbon. They release lanterns with handwritten messages onto the river and build these beautiful altars to honor all those who came before. Every single action is designed to weave souls together. All of this whole week of celebration and connection, it all builds to this incredibly poignant and powerful closing ceremony. It's a final ritual, one of release and of renewal. It's called the Great Unweaving. Everyone gathers together under the night sky to do one very simple, very symbolic thing. They each untie an old thread that they've been carrying with them all year long. It might represent a burden, a sorrow, or just something they're finally ready to let go of. And as they untie it, they whisper these two powerful words, Na Talaki. I release this. It's this beautiful, quiet, collective moment of letting the past go. And then, once they've let go of the old, they tie on a new silver thread for the year ahead, and they whisper, Na Halamara, I begin again. It is the ultimate expression of hope, of rebirth, and of the power to choose to weave a new future for yourself. So that kind of brings us to a final thought, because this idea is bigger than just this story, right? If you were carrying a thread from your own past, a belief, a memory, maybe a burden, what would you choose to release so that you could begin again?